Welcome back to the grind for another Abyss guide for my Karina's Challengers Path 3 playlist. This is going to be Hyperion. Now, if I had brought Longshot instead of Diablo, this is the main fight that would have been much easier because Longshot can handle this fight very well and Diablo is not ideal for it. Now, my fallback was I could just slow play the fight with Void. And that's kind of what I ended up doing. This is the first fight, and we're already about 9% in, and Void can handle this fight very well, and probably the best on my team because of the fact that he can control the power gain, and you don't have to worry about that at all once you get started, once you get set up with your debuffs. The very start of the fight can be a bit tedious if you don't get your pacifies early on, but once you get set up, you never really have to worry about him getting shot up to 3 bars of power. But you do have to dance around the unstoppable because you won't be nullifying any buffs. So you do have to worry about that, but you can parry, and that can be used if you heal up to, control your position on the map. And then what you just want to do, like any other typical Void fight that's not a Void cheese with heal reversal, is just to slow play the fight. Let that timer tick till it's almost out, and then do one hit. Maybe throw in some heavy attacks to help you gain spacing if you need it, but you're just doing a slow play with medium hits here and there. And this works very well. And I was able to get over 25% off on the first run with Void, and I'm sure others can do much better than that. But as I've mentioned in previous videos, I am kind of a Void noob. I didn't have him when he first came out, and I quit the game shortly after, and so I didn't have an awakened Void. Actually, I don't think I even had Void before I quit the game. I think I first got him when I returned to the game. So I was gonna take him up to rank 5, but then 5 stars weren't quite as important, so I got him up to rank 4. And he just kind of sat there, and I never used him. Never felt like I needed him. But I took him to rank 5 in Max Sig for this challenge, and he put in a ton of work. So this is pretty much it for this fight. I got him down to about 75% or so, and we're going to skip ahead, though, because there's not much more to learn from this fight. And as you can see, I still had 72 charges left, or about 70 charges left, when I messed up and died, so you can do well over 25%. Now, I did try other champions as well. I wanted to just see how it would go, or if I would just have to bite the bullet and slow play the whole thing with Void. And the gist of it is it sucks with pretty much any other champion, except if you had Longshot. But I couldn't fit Longshot on my team. I had one spot for Diablo or Longshot, and I went for Diablo, which I do not regret. I don't. I think that was the best choice for my run. And what you can do is you can have the slow applied, which is great, but if he doesn't throw special attacks, then you're kind of stuck. So I got a little bit lucky here with a bit of an extra cycle, getting out a bit more damage than I otherwise should have with some stand-up intercepting, and that unblockable is very helpful as well. Landing the stun as much as possible, going for the unblockable, got another extra combo in there, threw off a special one and tried to get another stand-up intercept, but failed. I also tried Diablo because I wanted to see how it would work, and you can control the fight pretty well because you can put on the nullify pre-fight, and with the special 3 you're going to be bursting those buffs that you put on him, and you can get burst damage from the special 2, and there's lots of frequent buffs that'll be coming up, so you can nullify those for Mystic Dispersion, power gain. You don't have to worry about the unstoppable if you continue to have your Philosopher's Mix active and are nullifying the power gain. But if you do have the unstoppable trigger, you can throw off a special attack to turn Philosopher's Mix on and nullify that buff as well to get some more power gain. The problem is not that he can't control the fight. The problem is he doesn't really do much damage. At least that was my experience. I believe I got 10 to 15% damage done in the full fight. And yes, Diablo is very sustainable. Yes, he can control the buffs very well. It's just the damage isn't there since Hyperion is poison immune, and a huge source of Diablo's damage is poison damage. So not really an ideal fight. I wouldn't recommend relying or planning to use Diablo for this fight. If you are going with a bit of an atypical team or you're restricted and can't bring in Longshot, then Void would be the way to go. But I've heard Longshot is the best option for this fight if you do take him for your team and can fit him on the team. He's great for a lot of fights on the path, not just the Cosmics, and so he is definitely one that would be worth having on the team. But I didn't have space for him, and so for this fight, I relied on Void. So I hope that this was helpful to see a couple different options and to see how I ended up relying with Void. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I hope to see you in the next video.